Hello, everyone. Thank you very much that you participate in our seminar. Let us introduce ourselves. From my right hand is Tomasz Szymanowski. He is an expert on incorporation as well as work permit, a long time with our company. My name is Bogdan Adamowicz. I'm experienced in management, set up number of companies who are effectively work up to date. Well, today we shall talk about three topics. One is how to open company in Poland effectively in order to save money. Second is work permit and temporary resident card. Progress Holding is already 20 years on the market. We are focusing on rendering service to foreigners. So that's why we know what foreigners need and what they expect from the service. Particularly to ensure good quality service, we allocate to each our customer personal account manager, and if the customer is rendering service in bookkeeping, also accountant. So that's why we know what really foreigners expect from the service, what are their everyday problems, how to solve them effectively. Poland is a developed country and it's rather stable with the constant growth. So that's why you have access not only to Polish market, but to European Union market, which is huge, more than 500 million citizens with developed number of fields. So that's why your goods and services may meet demand from the customers. We render service in particular fields like opening company, bookkeeping, tax advisory, work permit, temporary resident card. Our customers come from more than 30 companies, so that's why we are accustomed to different approach to the business. Well, that's for the beginning. Thomas, floor is yours.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, let's talk at the beginning about the first point which Bogdan mentioned, which is company registration in Poland. The most popular legal form of the company in Poland is LLC company, limited liability company. This type of company can be opened pretty quickly. In average, it takes around 3-4 working days to register the company. All LLC companies in Poland are registered in so-called Polish Registration Court. In Polish language, this is Krajowy Rejestr Sądowy, abbreviation KRS, very frequently used abbreviation KRS. Please remember this abbreviation if you are going to start the business in Poland. If you are going to open the company in Poland, you must be very familiar with this abbreviation, KRS. So there are a lot of information in KRS database, information regarding each company. Let me now go briefly through the main sections of KRS database, just to show you what type of information you can find there. So first, you can find company name. You can find REGON, company REGON, which is statistical number, tax number of the company. There is an address of the company stored in this database. There are shareholders. So who is the shareholder of your company and what is the share distribution? You can find information regarding capital amount of your company, of the company, and you can find also information regarding board. So who is the board member and what are the rules of company representation. Also, type of activity uh, for a particular company can be found in this database. So there are much more information which you can find, but well, I think those are the key ones. There are some issues regarding information I mentioned which you have to be aware of. Because if you are not aware of those issues, you can encounter some problems in a company registration process only in a later stage when company is already working. So let me now go through those issues which can cause potential problems for you, and as I mentioned, it's you should be aware of them. So first, company name. Company name must be unique. So if you will try to register the company, to open the company with a name which already exists on the market, your application, your registration application will be rejected by the court. So your company will not be registered. Please remember about it. Next, company address. This is pretty tricky thing. There are two main type of addresses in Poland. This is virtual address and non-virtual address. What is virtual address? Virtual address is just a physical address, but in your rental agreement, you can find some clauses which, for example, prohibit organizing the meetings in the office under this address. So, in other words, if your company is registered under virtual address and you want to invite your counterparties or your customers and have a meeting with them, you cannot do that in your office because this is against the agreement, the rental agreement. There are also two more potential problems regarding this type of address. The first potential problem is bank. So what I mean is, if your company is registered under virtual address and you go to the bank and you want to open the bank account, the bank can refuse opening the company bank account for you. They can refuse because banks have their own blacklists of virtual addresses. And if they identify that a company is registered under this address, you can have problems with your account, with opening your company account, which of course is is makes which will make your life complicated in a later stage. The second potential issue with virtual address is tax office. Again, tax offices have also their blacklists of virtual addresses, and they can refuse your company to be registered as a VAT payer, which, of course, you know this, will also make your life can make your life very complicated. I mean life as a company owner or company head of office of head of company. So please remember about this issue regarding addresses. Our company Progress Holding can deliver you non-virtual address. Non-virtual address is just also physical address, but there are no such clauses in your rental agreement which I mentioned, and well, this will cause that you can avoid those problems regarding tax office or banks. Um, the next thing, the next information you can find this KRS database is shareholders. What are the issues? What can be the issues? Potential issues regarding shareholders. Well, in Poland, both individual and legal entities can be shareholder of your company. But the thing is, if the individual, if the physical person is the only shareholder of your company, then this person, this shareholder, is obliged to be registered in social insurance and is obliged to pay monthly social insurance fee, which is around 2,500 PLN, roughly 600 euro. How to avoid this cost? Well, you have to add another you have to add another shareholder to your company, and if you have two shareholders, then this problem disappears. And next thing regarding shareholder, if a legal entity is the only shareholder of your Polish company, then this legal entity must have more than one shareholder. Because if it does not have, if it has only one shareholder, you cannot register company in Poland because this is against the law. So how to avoid this problem? Again, you can add another shareholder to your Polish company, or you can add another shareholder to the company which is going to be the shareholder of your Polish company. So please remember about it. Board members. Next thing, board members. What are the issues regarding board members? Well, you can have as many board members as you want, accordingly to the law. But please remember that in the registration process, in company registration process, you are defining the company representation rules. What it means? Well, you can decide that each board member can severally represent your company, or you can decide that all board members jointly have to represent your company. What are the consequences? Well, please be aware. If you, for example, let's say you have 4 board members, and you defined your bylaw that all board members have to represent your company jointly. If there is a decision to be taken on a board level, or there is a document to be signed on a board level, and imagine that some of your board members are out of office, are not available, not accessible, but still you need joint decision or joint signature of all board members. So if that's the case, if all board members have to sign the document or take the decision, you can just encounter some operational problems if you said that all of them have to take joint decision. So it's worth to be considered before company registration how you want to structure this representation rule, because sometimes it can be much easier when just only one board member can severally represent the company. But of course, that depends on you, depends on what is your plan, what is your strategy, what are your board members, and well, you decide. You, as the owner of the company, you decide about it. Regarding board members, there is also one more thing. Board members cannot have criminal record. So if you try to register the company with a board member who has the criminal record, your application will be rejected and company will not be registered. And type of activity. The last thing which I want to mention, type of activity. Please remember that beginning of 2025, the new tables of type of activity were introduced in Poland. So if you are planning to open the company now in 2025, you have to select your types of activities based on the new tables, newly introduced table. Not the previous one, not those which we had in 2024, but the new one. So PK, so type of activity 2025. And also please remember that there are some types of activities which are prohibited for LLC company. If you try to register the company with type of activity which is considered prohibited for LLC company, you will not register. Your application will be rejected by the court. Okay, so there were some main information regarding main issues regarding information about the company. Now let me tell a few words about process of company registration. The simplest and the cheapest way of company registration in Poland is online registration through the web page. System is called S24. In this type of registration, all documents and an application are prepared, signed, and sent to the court through the web page, through this S24 system. Registration can be done fully remotely. Your presence is not needed. You can be in your country and open the company in Poland through this S24. The information, the important thing is that if you are going to register the company through S24, all your board members and all your shareholders of the company must have so-called PESEL number, which is Polish identification number, and electronic signature. In both, PESEL and electronic signature, we can help you to obtain. Alternative process of company registration is so-called notary registration. What is notary registration? Notary registration is just a process when all your shareholders, all company shareholders, go to the notary, and notary is preparing company bylaw for them. They are signing this bylaw, shareholders are signing this bylaw, and this bylaw, together with some additional documents, is sent to registration court to register the company. This is sent also through the website, but this is not S24. This is another website, this called PRS. In this approach, in this process, all your board members must have parcel number and electronic signature, but shareholders do not have to. So there is no need for shareholders to have parcel and electronic signature in in this type of the process, of the registration process. So the question can be, why do we need this notary registration if everything can be done through S24? Well, the answer is by law of the company. In S24, you can use pretty much standardized form of your company bylaw. You can modify this, but to the very, very limited extent. So, if you want to have in your bylaw some, let's say, more sophisticated clauses or some non-standard clauses regarding, for example, restrictions of the transfer of shares, privileging of shares, or rules of company representation, you have to go to the notary, and notary will prepare such a bylaw for you. Notary can do this, but you cannot do this in S24. So that's the reason why sometimes there is a need to open the company with a notary. In terms of cost, if you register a company through S24 system, the court fee is 350 PLN, which is roughly 80 euro. If you register the company through PRS, the cost is higher. It's around 600 PLN. Roughly, this is 140 euro. Okay, so, well, I think those were main issues regarding company registration.
Well, I make one remark here, what Thomas said. From our perspective, our recommendation to foreign investors that the most efficient and cost-effective is that you set up a company with 2 shareholders and go through S24, which is standard. So this is the simplest, quickest, and you can start your business same effectively as other forms. So LLC with 2 shareholders and going through S24. Thank you.
Okay, so now let's move to our second topic, which is work permit. What is work permit? Work permit is a document which allows you to work in Polish company. But please remember, this is not the document which allows you to come and to stay in Poland. To come and to stay in Poland, you need another type of document, like visa, for example. If you have work permit, based on this work permit, you can go to the Polish embassy in your country and apply for working visa. And if you receive the working visa, you can come and stay in Poland. So please remember, I will repeat this, work permit allows you to work in Polish company. It does not allow you to come and to stay in Poland. Another very important remark regarding work permit. If you are going to apply for work permit, you must have an employer. So, in other words, there must be the Polish company which is going to employ you. If you don't have an employer, if there is no such company which is going to employ you, you cannot apply for work permit. How you can find an employer in Poland? Well, there are few options you can find through employment agencies. There are a lot of such agencies in Poland. You can find in big companies. Also, I can imagine that if there is a group of qualified workers, well, you can open the company in Poland, and this company will be your employer. So you will be in both positions. You will be the shareholder of the company and employee of the company. This is available. This is consistent with the law. So you can do that. Who applies for work permit for you? Your employer. Your employer applies to the labor office for work permit for you. So not you personally, but your employer does it. What are the main requirements regarding obtaining work permit? Well, I would say that basically your education level and your professional experience have to be consistent with the profile of the job you are applying for. So if let's say you are an IT guy, you are programmer, IT programmer, and you apply for a job of let's say construction worker, like bricklayer, for example, then well, you can expect some tough questions from labor office why you with such a background are applying for a completely different position. Well, it's always better to avoid such situations because your application is very likely to be rejected if there is no such consistency. Your level of education and your professional experience must be proved by documents. So you have to deliver documents which confirm that your education level is this and this, and your professional background is this and this. The same refers to the point that job you are applying for must be consistent with company profile. So again, if let's say you are a construction worker, you are a bricklayer, and you apply for a job in IT company, again, questions from labor office can be why you go to such type of the company. You should rather go to the construction company. Of course, all those questions can be answered, can be justified, but as I mentioned, it's always better when you keep the consistency. Then the process of the work permit process has a big chance to be smooth and quick. One more thing related to work permit is that there is a group of professions in Poland which is called deficit professions. What is deficit profession? Deficit profession is just jobs that are in high demand but have a very limited supply of qualified workers. Examples of such professions can be construction workers, be IT workers, as well as healthcare workers. If you apply for a job which is considered as a deficit job or deficit profession, your work permit process will be shorter, will be faster. In average, decision time to obtain the work permit is about 3 months. If you apply for a deficit position, deficit profession, then can be around 1 month shorter. So for you, it will be 2 months, around 2 months. So it's worth to remember about it. In terms of cost, well, administrative fee in the work permit process is 100 PLN, which is roughly 22-23 euros. Well, I think there were main issues I wanted to cover in this work permit section.
Okay, next, temporary resident card, which abbreviation is TRC. Before I explain number of issues related to the procedure, timing, and pricing of TRC, I would like to share with you one important considerations regarding what is your approach when you start to work in Poland or set up a company. Some of our customers, they address to us with the questions, we want a company in order to get TRC. Well, in our opinion, it's completely wrong approach. This is the most costly procedure to obtain TRC. Why so? Because the crucial point of obtaining TRC is the evidence that you have stable income. So you have to ensure the authorities that you have stable income in Poland. You meet other criteria, then you apply for TRC. So if you set up a company and your only purpose or the main purpose is to obtain TRC, then you have to run the company, well, finance it, and make sure that you have a stable income. So that's why from the PL, profit and loss perspective, it's completely wrong. But, well, certainly you can have that, but it's the most expensive. So the proper one is that you set up a company because you have business plan, you have some business model, you want to sell goods or services which are in demand in Poland or Polish or European customers, so you generate profit. So the main purpose of the company, I address to the number one of our topic, is to set up a company with a comprehensive business model which generates profit. So when you generate profit, you acquire customers, you meet their requirements, you generate cash flow, consequently you have your income. So the consequence of that might be that you apply for TRC. Coming back to TRC criteria. So in order to apply for TRC, you have to meet certain criteria, namely to have a stable income. What does it mean? Either you have, so the most frequent and common is that you have contract. either as a director or an employee of the company. So you have a contract, you receive money, the company pays social security. So then you can easily confirm that source of income is comprehensive. Second point, you have to ensure that you have your place to live. So the rent agreement for flat or house whatsoever. Next, you have to confirm, justify your expertise in the field. Either you are were construction employee or Horeca employee or any other transportations whatsoever. It's better than you have education, so you are a white collar guy or you are experienced in the deficit position, so then it's much easier to confirm that. So there is other set of documents, namely application, which we fill. So our service covers advice to collect the documents, to fill the documents, to place the documents, to apply the documents to the authorities, pay the tax, and monitor till the happy end you receive the TRC. How long does it take? Due to the recent developments and, unfortunately, European Union is not, does not look with, let's say, positively to enlarge number of potential residents of European Union, including Poland. So that process takes at least 1 year. So you should bear in mind that 1 year the process will take. So the next point is the list of the documents. So the list of the documents, as mentioned earlier, it's the proof of income, so your contract, so the address, rent, application, photo, copy of the documents justifying your education, passport, and so on. Basically, this issue, so the obtaining temporary resident card, should be the consequence that really you have a good job to perform in Poland, or you have a company with stable income. When we explain the issue of work permit, it's worth to say that if you are employee, say standard employee, so even managerial position, you keep managerial position, you can apply for type A, which is standard. Type B is more complex, and there is a must for shareholders and board members. This is more complex. If someone wants to more information, then you can apply directly to us, write an email, and we comment. Well, that's basically the whole story. So we received number of questions I would like to address too, because during the seminar there were questions written. So one of the questions, which is frequently asked by the customers, whether we have to wait in Poland, stay in Poland whole period when we apply for TRC. As you remember, the TRC process takes at least 1 year. In fact, authorities, they want you to stay in Poland in order if they ask you to come to clarify something or receive the TRC decision, then you can quickly come. But if you have visa, multiply visa, then there is no need to stay in Poland. If they apply to you to come, so you come back from your country or from somewhere else where you stay, and you come and clarify the issue. The second question is how to get job, how to get contract. We are not a work agency. Progress Holding does not render such service, but we can share information that if you want to get an employer, so it's better to check work agencies in Poland. There is a number of them. So even there is a list of those agencies on the authority website. We can share if you ask us. On the other hand, if you apply to big market operators like warehouses, factories, construction companies, so you can go to the Warsaw Stock Exchange. They have big blue chips, and so you can have names and you can have addresses where to apply. So unfortunately, we are not rendering such service, but we can advise where basically you can have potential demand for job. Well, one crucial point, since Poland is constantly developing and will have a GDP growth, we need foreign labor force. So therefore, all in all, Poland will look attentively to foreign labor force to get them in Poland, well, to be engaged in Polish economy. One more question about if I'm a sole investor, what is the best type of company, of legal structure I can start a business in Poland? Well, we are more focused on LLC, but the simplest and the cheapest is one-person company. So you can open one-person company in one day, but this possibility is limited to European Union citizens or those who have a permanent card. Others, foreigners from other countries, so it's better to open LLC. And our suggestion to have LLC, which is less cost, which is cost effective, they are two shareholders. Two shareholders, then you pay less, you set up a company, implement your business model, earn money. Some people, they ask for the work permit, solely for the work permit. So the work permit, okay, we can assist you, but first you should have the contract. So you should have the employee. So that's why first is employee, and then we can assist with the work permit. And some investors, there were questions, they want to employ foreigners and to send them to other countries. So let's assume you want to start business in Poland and send your employees to Germany or Netherlands or France. Okay, you can do that. There is a need to obtain A1 permission. A1 is pan-European regulation, which allows local company to send labor force to other country, providing, and this is crucial, that 25% of your income comes from the Polish market and 25% of your labor force is working in Poland. So only then you can send employees to other countries. So basically, if you have 4 employees, so 1 employee works in Poland and 3 employees you can send abroad. Okay, and well, one suggestions for those who are wanting to work in Poland. So if you set a team of people, so your colleagues, say 3, 5 persons, and you are a team of builders, so construction, you can set up a small construction company, and then you can offer your service as a team. Then it's cost effective, and I think it's feasible and it may work. Well, some other questions. Well, what are the most frequent problems with incorporation? Well, basically there is no problem to incorporate if you, so there is a standard procedure, like you obtain ID number, which is called in Polish PESEL. You have to obtain electronic signature, and electronic signature need that the first phase you register on governmental website, very easy. Then you have face control in Polish consulate. So under the condition, well, you want to set up your company remotely, which is the most cost effective. So we recommend that if you want to set up a company in Poland, better you make it remotely. So then that does not need from you to go to spend money. Well, basically that's all for the moment. So Thomas, I don't know whether you have something.
From my side, I think that's all.
Well, then we thank you very much for your participation. Well, certainly during this seminar, we didn't explain everything, but you have a flavor how it goes in Poland, and you can see that the Polish market is a good potential for you. So you are welcome. So in any questions, we are ready to explain you details of the Polish market, and you are welcome. Thank you very much. Take care.
Thank you.